Hey there, it's Joe with Sonical Disruptive, and it is that time. We're reaching the end of the year, and one really good thing about this year is there has been some fantastic music the whole year, killer albums left and right, and this is my top 20. Well, not all in one video because why do that when I can stretch it out over the whole month? So, this is 20 through 16, five at a time. Please give me like your top five so I can include them in upcoming videos. I do have one list here. This is from Kim Eklund. Sorry if I butchered your last name. Not in order, but it says his favorite albums of the year are New War Kid by Violet Cold. Haven't heard it. Menstrain Kinsey by Aranzi Penzuzu. I do know the band, but I actually have not listened to that album, so I can't comment. Yokai by Within Destruction. Again, I'm not familiar with them. Gonna see a pattern here. Obscene Repressed by Benighted. I've heard of the band. I have not listened to the album though. And Nija by Orbit Culture. I have listened to that album, so I am familiar with that, and it is good. Probably not on my list, but I did enjoy it quite a lot. So there you go. Like I said, tell me what yours are, and I will include them in here. So let's get started. Number 20. This is a band that I just started listening to very recently, and I just started listening to this album very recently. There's a chance if I had more time, it could move up higher on my list, or it could fall way down to one of my least favorite albums of all time. Doesn't make any sense, but this album doesn't make any sense. I like it and hate it at the same time. They're from New York City, I believe. It is Imperial, Triumphant, and Alphaville. It's a hard listen, man. This thing is hard to listen to. Ugly at times. Just ear splitting at times. And yet there is a beauty in that. It is very talented, very different. I'm including this because I think there's an evolutionary step being taken in music with this band and with this album. It is very experimental, very cool in a lot of places. It's blackened jazz death metal taken to the extreme with plenty of avant-garde music and a bunch of maybe post-rock and really interesting, difficult, and different material here. And like I said, I'm really not sure which direction it's going to take. Not every evolutional step is a good one, and I'm not sure yet here. But interesting, it definitely is entertaining. It definitely is. It will keep you on your toes. And for that reason, it's at number 20. Yeah. Number 19, Paradise Lost, Obsidian. This probably is a little low. I've seen it higher rated in other people's opinions. Great album. It's beautiful, and I did really enjoy it. It's one of those albums that I haven't really went back to a whole bunch since I listened to the entirety of the record. I've listened to it, a good number of times, but it's not something that I feel like I need to have my daily dose of this album. Like I said, it's beautiful, very depressing, very somber, as you would want, I imagine, from Paradise Lost. And a great album. And that's why it's in my top 20, but it's at 19. At 18, Fires in the Distance. This is Echoes from Deep November. This was good. This is Bellacore kind of. Um, it's very doom, very dark, very, it's got that melodic death vibe to it, but very beautiful. It's got a great mix of the beauty and the beast, so to speak. A lot of very beautiful passages, even though they're distorted as hell and they are rough. Um, there's a real beauty to the melody lines here and some really good songs. I found myself really attached to this album. I love the ambience of the record as well. That's what kind of really gets it for me. It's just the overall feel and sound of this record is one that I really enjoyed and was really surprised how taken by it I was. That's why it leapfrogged many records, because this was a latecomer too. It was only released a short time ago, and it jumped ahead of some because I keep going back to it quite a bit. Cool record. At 17, Cloud Kicker and Solitude. Oh, this is really good. This is just, it's instrumental, gent, mixed with a good deal of post rock. Whatever you want to label it, whatever you want to call it, it's really, really good. The whole record is so cohesive. The whole thing fits together perfectly, and some great playing in here, great riffs. Um, it's one of those records where I'm never sitting there being like, oh, come on, what, waiting for vocals to come in, because I don't want them to. It's one of those that is on the other side. It's like, man, I'm really enjoying this groove. Don't ruin it by coming in with some crappy vocals, which bands do, It's like they feel like, well, we got to have a vocalist, and sometimes they cram some crappy vocals into what would otherwise be a great song, and I'm glad they don't do that here. Really enjoyable. If you haven't heard Cloud Kicker and you haven't heard their latest Solitude, check it out. It is worth the listen. If you like, post rock meets gent instrumentalized, you'll like this. You will. And that leads us to number 16. Another latecomer that I recently found, and it is Glass Ocean, The Remnants of Losing Yourself in Someone Else. Beautiful record. Different though. This is more on the pop side leaning, kind of. It's more of there's definitely a progressive edge to it, but it's very much more progressive rock, progressive pop, but they throw in heavier elements. Really interesting. The way the vocals are layered, the layering of the entire songs, the synth, the melody lines, and the songs. They have some fantastic songs here. And that's what does it for me with this album, is the songs stick in your head, and they're beautiful. This is another one. I have a feeling if I had another couple months to listen to this, it would probably move up on my list, because I'm highly enjoying this record. So if you haven't heard of this band, Glass Ocean, they're Australian, and like I said, it's different stuff. It's cool though. A lighter vibe than many people may expect or want, but really enjoyable. So there you go. That is my first 5 off my top 20 list. Plenty more great albums. That was the great thing about this experience, is there are so many great albums to pick from that I'm leaving quite a few off that I initially thought, yeah, this will definitely be on a year end list because it's great. And then, by the end of the year, it doesn't make it because there's so much great music out there. So, there you go. Again, what are yours so I can include them in the upcoming videos? And thank you very much for watching. See ya.